It's a cold, rainy English Monday in 2021. It's 5:45 a.m. and I had just woken up, slammed my protein shake and sprinted out the door by 6 a.m. I get on the train at 6:30, my nose red and runny because of the cold. I get off at 8:30, 2 hours later, and get into work at 8:45. I don't take my coat off for the entire day because for some reason one of the higher ups liked having his window open in the middle of winter. It was so cold that my fingers didn't function properly and I couldn't type on the keyboard and everyone had a hat on. How weird is that? The minutes feel like hours and I'm counting down the time until my lunch. My work had something called flexi time, which means as long as you worked 8 hours during that day, not including lunchtime, because of course lunchtime didn't include in the work hours, I'm supposed to be able to come in and leave flexibly as long as I'm at work at the core hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I always like to come in at 8:45, take the shortest lunch possible, and then leave by 5:15 so that I could make my early train home. But at 11 a.m, my boss calls me into the meeting room with him. Hi Brian, we noticed that you are leaving around the same time every day. You're a salaried worker. You're not at school anymore and you're not being paid by the hour. Therefore, we expect you to stay longer some days to finish the obligations that you have. We also don't like it when people take the shortest lunch possible all the time because it affects their productivity. This is your first year in a corporate world and we expect more professionalism from you going forward. When I heard this, my heart sank because that meant I could no longer make my early train, and instead of getting home at 7:45 p.m, I had to lose another 20 to 30 minutes from my day. To top it off, I was fulfilling all of my obligations and I wasn't doing anything against the rules. That pissed me off so much. But of course, I didn't say anything and I obliged because I was a good little worker. So, I worked the rest of the day, still cold, but now also fucking miserable. Counting down the hours, as usual, until my daddy was satisfied and I could finally leave at 5:30 and miss that early train. Of course, by the time I left work, it was already dark, so the only daylight I saw was through my office window and maybe 30 minutes of light in the morning. I get home just after 8 p.m. and by this time I was so sick of this life that I was trying to learn skills to break me free. So I had time to shower, eat something, try to work for an hour with any energy I had left on something that I actually cared about, then try to have fun for about 30 minutes and go to bed. And then it would repeat over again and over again and over again. But that's not the worst part. So what did I get to show for all of this? £60. But no, not even £60 because the train cost £10 there and back. So all I had to show for it was £50. All of that pain. You're working for someone you don't like, for money that isn't that great, and a goal that isn't yours. If you work twice as hard and do way more than you're supposed to be getting paid for, you might get lucky and get a 5 to 10% raise next year. Taking into account inflation, that doesn't really get you shit. You have a daddy telling you what you can and can't do, and it doesn't matter how that makes you feel. Including getting ready, commuting, and everything else, it's not taking 8 hours out of your day, it's taking more like 10 to 12. You have zero control over your time, zero control over your location. You barely have any time to do things that allow you to escape. Pile on a mortgage, bills and responsibilities, and now most people are fucked. But then they say they have stability. Do they? What happened during COVID, bitch? What's happening with all the layoffs right now? What's happening with AI replacing jobs? They don't have shit. All they have with a 9-to-5 job is a shit life. I'm gonna tell you how you can really make rapid progress right now, and you're not gonna like it. Take all of the pleasure away. The Netflix you've been watching, the junk you've been eating, the porn you've been indulging in, the things you've been buying to make you feel better. You're doing all of this because you're self-medicating to take away the pain of your situation. Once you take all of that pain away, all you will be left with is the raw texture of that shit life. And then, if you're even 1% more ambitious than the average person, which you are because you're watching this video, you won't go back to all that other stuff and you're going to start making a change. Don't let that negative feeling bring you back to all the vices and addictions like it always has before. Feel it. Feel how shit it really feels. Cry if you have to. But don't run back to all of the bullshit keeping you there, because it's just as evil as the 9 to 5 itself. You're a driven individual, which means dissatisfaction is your fuel. If you don't feel this dissatisfaction, how do you expect to keep going? If you're a car going forward, not feeling that dissatisfaction runs your fuel tank empty, and feeling that dissatisfaction fuels that tank right back up. Because the dissatisfaction is the fuel, so don't shield yourself from it by watching porn 5 times a day. Once you do this, all you need to do is learn to work deeply and focus, because that is the opposite of what a 9 to 5 teaches you to do. Once you've done that, all you need to do is use that focus only for 1 to 2 hours per day on the thing that you chose that will break you free. Focus on that one thing, keep improving it, and then it's only a matter of time. You'll find that a lot of the pain goes away when you start working, because all of a sudden there's hope. You might not know this yet, but you're not actually lazy. All your life you've just been working on goals that you don't really care about, so of course you weren't working hard on them. Wake up that fire in you. You are your own individual person with a fucking important life, and you only get one. After this, it's over, and you're gonna play it safe? You're gonna keep playing games? What the fuck? Seriously? Start building your dream life now and never doubt yourself. Don't doubt. Doubt is a very powerful thing, and it stops you from doing what you need to do to achieve that life. The truth is, no matter what it is that you want, there's people out there doing it, and they're no different to you. They're not special, they're just people, just like you. So it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Don't feel like you have to compromise on your goals and desires, because you don't. Making enough money to break free is easy, and what I just said might have pissed you off because of how much pain you've been going through. But all you need is that belief, because once you believe, it's easy to start acting. And once you start acting, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, because if you do that, there will be a day where you are released from this prison. You just need to feel way more discomfort now for 1 to 2 years max to feel significantly less discomfort later. If you're watching this video, you and I are very similar, because you have the same pain that younger me had. I know how shit it feels, and I'm on your side. That's why I'm making these videos, to help you, because I know that there's another side to this pain. Let me tell you what life looks like for me now. I'm currently in Phuket, Thailand. I woke up at 6 a.m. and all of my work for the day is going to be done by 11 a.m. The rest of the day will be spent exploring, reading, learning, and spending time with my girlfriend. I own my time and I can do whatever I want. My salary used to be £18,000 a year, and my business paid me that in December 2023 alone. If you're watching this, my name is Brian, and this isn't a typical YouTube channel. We are a group of people who are sick of having an ordinary life. We've all realized that something is off with the world. Everyone kind of gets on with it, even though they're dissatisfied. And no one seems to be doing anything about it, but you're not like that, because you're here and you want to make a change. So, if you resonate with this message, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.